Hey everyone, and welcome to Game Exposure. My name is Jodo, and I'm here to talk to you today about Joker in Smash Ultimate. Yes, we got all sorts of goodies to talk about today when it comes to his base mechanics and some other cool things that we saw in the trailer that came out yesterday. So he's coming out at some point today. Hopefully when this video releases, he'll be out so I get to play him, because I've been looking forward to playing him since December, since the Game Awards, watching that live, and it was absolutely incredible. Caught me off guard, caught the whole community off guard. And the fact that we finally, after months of waiting and patience, we get some gameplay. So we're going to go look at some of the basics here of the gameplay and what we saw in the trailer. So the first thing we're going to talk about is smash attacks. So we see a forward smash where Joker swings downward with both hands directly in front of him. We also see up smash where he performs an uppercut with his knife. And down smash where he sweeps the floor with a knife swipe on both sides of him. With jabs, he'll swipe his opponent 3 times with his knife. Other things that we got are tilts. We have his forward tilt, which swipes in a diagonal motion. You have an up tilt, which performs an upward swing with his knife and throws it directly upwards into the air. The knife hits multiple times when airborne, which is pretty nice as an anti-air to have. And also his down tilt does a baseball slide similar to Cloud's or Mega Man's. Moving on to the aerials, he has a neutral air, which strikes in a circle while doing a corkscrew in the air. He has a forward aerial, a hook kick, followed by a roundhouse kick. His down air, he'll swipe underneath him. And then also an up aerial, a corkscrew flying kick. So it's similar to Greninja's up air. Moving on to the specials. So his neutral special, we have a gun. Yes, it's a gun. And I know a lot of people are kind of shocked. Oh, why Nintendo has grown. They have guns and stuff in the game now. But I mean, Snake and Brawl, hello, he had grenades and launchers and rockets. I digress. The important thing is we're talking about the gun here. Pressing the special button causes Joker to fire his gun once, and pressing and holding it causes Joker to fire multiple times. When in the air, Joker can either fire in a circle around him or directly below him. So this is very similar to Bayonetta's neutral air, where she starts spinning and the guns start going all over the place. But he's using his neutral B instead, so it's like a neutral aerial special that he can use, and then he can also direct that downwards at opponents, which is awesome because you can do all sorts of setups with that from a distance. The fact that you can dodge with the neutral special and continue to face the same direction is incredible to me. It's similar to like Riku or Ken when they're fighting 1v1 matches. They're always facing their opponent, but it's obviously not limited to 1v1s. It's with anything, and that is a really cool thing to add because you could continue to pressure your opponent even while dodging away or towards them. So moving on, we have the side special, Aha. It's a darkness-based projectile that deals little initial damage, but inflicts further damage over time, so pretty much a curse effect. So it's very similar to Robin's side B, but it just doesn't stay out as long. You also have his up special, which is a grappling hook, which can grapple to edges and command grab opponents out of the air, bring them to you, and you can instantly attack out of that, which can lead to all sorts of really cool setups. It's going to be interesting to see how players can act out of that, if they can mash out of it. I really don't know the frame rate for that. Again, it's releasing today, so we'll know more information about that once the update comes out. There's also the down special, Rebel's Guard. So what Rebel Guard does when this attack is activated is, well, Joker will assume this defensive pose, and any hit given to him will fill his Rebellion gauge and cause him to take half damage. And when his Rebellion gauge is filled all the way, that is when he summons his persona Arson, which is freaking dope. So the other thing is, when this Rebellion gauge is being charged with Rebel's Guard, the player, when he releases the button, will perform a backhand and knock the opponent away from him. So it's kind of a form of a counter, you could say. If the opponent is rapidly jabbing you or something like that, he could just let go of the button and instantly smack the opponent away from him. So it's probably not the wisest thing to go up and attack the dude, especially if it starts charging his gauge. The thing is, he does take half damage, so you could put damage on him, maybe run away from him once he gets Arson until the thing disappears. But again, I don't think it's going to be very wise to have Arson come around any sooner, so it's probably just better to do a grab out of that. But again, we won't really know until he's released today at some point what the frame data is, like how fast he can react out of things, so we'll see that later. But when Arson is summoned, oh boy, he upgrades pretty much everything. So the gun special now has 3 bullets coming out instead of 1. There's also the AHA, which has been upgraded to Aegion. I don't know if I pronounced it right. It's a more powerful projectile that hits multiple times and causes poison to last longer than usual. There's also the grappling hook is just gone. You instead just go super high up into the air with Angel Wings from Arson. He kind of helps you up. And it's incredible because of just the length of it, how high you can go, and also the fact that you're invincible upon the startup of the move. So if somebody's running after you off stage, you could literally go through them, even with them attacking you, and make it back to the stage from the deep, dark depths down there. So it's very similar to Rosalina's up special, but you have those invincibility frames in the beginning. It seems to last a decent amount. Don't know exactly how long it is. However, he does have a lot of lag if he is landing on the surface, so probably good to just go for the ledges with that. So again, you don't get the grapple, so you won't be able to use the command grab anymore, but you'll instead have the Wings of Rebellion, which will just help with recoveries in general for that time period. The other thing that he gets during this, so what swaps out with Rebel's Guard, is a counter/reflect. And what those are is basically if somebody attacks you with a melee attack, Joker will use Tetrakarn, and if it's a projectile-based attack, Joker will use Makarakarn instead and reflect that back at the opponent. Very similar to Palutena's down special. But if you notice, there's barely any lag on this move. In fact, you could do this in succession twice within a matter of a second. It's incredible to me to see something that quick, and I hope it's not broken, but the thing is, this only occurs when you have your persona activated, when Arson's out there. So again, you'll have Rebel's Guard instead when Arson is not with you on the field. So it's not necessarily all the time that you're going to have this Tetrakarn and Makarakarn with you to use at your disposals. But I got a feeling we're going to have a lot of online people spamming that with Arson on the field, so don't know how that's going to be. We'll have to see. Joker just seems to, overall, he's unique in his own way, I think, with the specials, but a lot of his regular tilts and stuff seem to be based off of other people, and that's something that we have seen with Smash before, with other DLC or players or fighters added later in the game, how they have a lot of similar mechanics to other fighters that are already in the base roster, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I like the fact that he does still feel like a unique character, mainly because of the persona Arson being available. A few other things that we see with Joker is taunt with Morgana, and his victory screen reflects the one in Persona 5, so that was a really cool callback to that game. And we also get to see what Kirby looks like when he uses his copy ability on Joker. The other thing is the stage Mementos, which looks really amazing. It's a really wacky stage, which has walls come in from all different sides. They have a running train on the stage and all sorts of wacky things. And then you also have the Phantom Thieves of Hearts, which come in the background of the stage. And that's just some of the cool things with this stage. Another thing is the color. The base color changes depending on the music track that's playing. So if you have something from Persona 4, you'll have a yellow background. And also Persona 3 will have a blue background. And I think that's really cool to be fighting in different versions of the stage, different colors of it. And just shows that this stage is just absolutely gorgeous. And that Sakurai's put a lot of details and put a lot of time into this and making sure that it really properly reflected not only Persona 5, but just the Persona franchise altogether. I also really like the fact that Joker's victory animation, the colors can change depending on the stage that you were fighting on colors. So if the stage was a soundtrack from Persona 4, let's say, and it's yellow, his victory animation, the screen, will be yellow as he runs off into the distance after winning. That's just super cool to have in and adds a little variety to his victory animation. Is this stage going to be liable as far as the competitive scene goes? Yeah, with hazards, no. But with hazards off, it's a possibility. There is that little slant thing going on in the center, very similar to Castle Siege if the hazards were turned off. But it's still kind of hard to say. Well, we'll find out more in the future. But I do like the design. It's cool looking. I like how it's got the platforms similar to Battlefield. Well, and we'll learn more about that today. So excited for that. We also get these B costumes from Persona 5, Persona 4, and Persona 3. Although I am confused why they decided to just say the main protagonist and not say their names. But it's whatever. And they also had a couple of Sonic the Hedgehog me costumes, such as Tails and Knuckles, so that was pretty cool to see that. It's nothing to do with Persona, but it's awesome that they're going to be included in the first round. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that since that'll be part of the paid DLC, and we'll get to explore that content today, and we'll get to see more. So again, thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more on Super Smash Bros. And other things gaming. Until next time, Johto out.